Hello everybody, my name is Wade Bradford. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are one of my English students, then you've already become familiar with what is going on in some of these videos. We are talking about writing. In particular, we're talking about different methods of essay writing, and today we're going to be talking more about persuasive writing. We've mentioned persuasive writing before. When we talk about subjective writing or subjective details, we're talking about details that are subjective, meaning that they come from a personal point of view, they have a personal bias, or they are sharing or expressing an opinion. So persuasive writing is one step further. You can write subjectively, but not necessarily, you might not be trying to win anybody over. Let's say you're writing in your diary, that's very subjective, but you don't want anybody to read the diary, so you're not trying to persuade anyone. So think of persuasive writing as writing that is attempting to convince the reader. So you have a goal. You want the reader to feel a certain way. Maybe you want them to take action a certain way. You want them to vote a certain way. Or you want them to buy a certain product. In fact, today, since we're talking about persuasive writing, I want to focus on writing that we see in advertisements, because that is the most obvious example of persuasive writing. They want you to buy their product, and so they are going to make you feel a certain way. So when we think about that, how do commercials make you feel? When I say commercials, I guess I mean any form of advertisement. It could be an ad, maybe an ad that you saw before this YouTube video. Maybe it was a commercial that was on good old-fashioned television. So there's all different advertisements, and each of those advertisements usually has a specific emotion. It's trying to persuade you to feel a certain emotion. I was using my handy-dandy notebook to come up with some of the emotions and examples, so let me share some with you, and I would love it if in the comments section or in our discussion you would share some of your favorite examples of commercials. Maybe commercials that you admire, that you appreciate, or maybe commercials you can't stand, or maybe it's commercials that you feel, ooh, wow, they really used persuasive writing to manipulate me as an audience. So feel free at any time to leave your own comment, and I will look forward to finding more examples of persuasive writing, but here are a few of mine. So, one of my favorite forms of persuasive writing is using humor, right? Humor has the goal of making the reader or the audience member laugh. And some of the most popular commercials are ones that are designed to do just that. My favorite absurdly funny commercials are probably the Old Spice commercials. I don't know why, but that cracks me up. There's something that's very absurd going on. In fact, I like a lot of the absurd commercials. But the most famous one, I think, is Geico. Geico is an insurance company, and for I don't know how many decades, at least 2, they have had a gecko spokesperson, and they've had a caveman spokesperson, and a talking camel, and a talking pig. Now, of course, car insurance has nothing to do with those things. Oh, he's here. I was trying to continue my little lecture, and then this guy's the neighborhood dog, and he will not leave me alone, and he's not going home. He lives 3 houses over down that way, and his name's Nero. Isn't he adorable? So I think I might go inside. If I can convince him to go home, maybe I'll come back outside. But for now, Nero is hanging out here, and he's far more entertaining than I am. All right, the dog, our dog friend has gone, but now there's a whole bunch, I don't know if you can see this, there's a whole bunch of slugs. In case you are wondering, I'm filming this here in Washington State. This is my home state. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the Geico commercials, before I was interrupted. Yeah, so those Geico commercials, the very humorous spokespeople and animals have very little to do with insurance. And yet at the same time, if you are going to get car insurance, there's a very good chance that Geico might be the first idea that comes to your mind, not because they necessarily have a great product to offer you, but because you remember laughing at their commercials, or at least that's what the advertisers want you to do. What else do we have? Okay, so we've got humor. Guilt and pity. That's also something that advertising executives use. To me, the classic example of using guilt or pity to make you want to donate money is the commercial from, I believe it's the 90s, maybe the early 2000s, the ASPCA. If you've ever heard the songs In the Arms of the Angels by Sarah McLachlan playing while very sad animals are looking through bars, then you've probably watched a late night commercial that's made you feel terribly sad. And that's exactly how they want you to feel. They want you to feel sad so that you will donate. There's also a commercial that uses sadness and I guess a feeling of, I don't know how you want to describe it, and a little bit of guilt. It's a German commercial. I'll put the link to it down below if you want to watch it, but I'm going to spoil it for you. It's a German commercial. I don't even know what it's advertising, but it takes place around Christmas time, and family members are calling this old guy. He's all by himself, and he's eating all by himself. He's all alone on Christmas, during Christmas season, and his family has basically said, hey, we're too busy, we can't come and see you, maybe next year we'll do it. So then all the family members, the adult children, the grandchildren, they get messages, they get phone calls, and they find out like, oh wow, Grandpa's dead. Oh no, he died. So they all gather together and they go to the funeral, and they're all dressed in black, and they come into the house sad, probably expecting they're going to clear out Grandpa's stuff. And Grandpa is still alive. He's lit candles, and he's got Christmas dinner ready, and he comes out and he's like, I faked my own death so you would finally visit me. The commercial does it better. But anyway, the commercial is designed to make you feel like, oh, that's so sad, he's dead. It's like, oh, I'm so happy he's alive, and it's sad and bittersweet. And so those are emotions that they want you to feel so that you remember the product, which I don't remember because it's in German, but that's what they're trying to do. They want to create memories. They want to create an emotional experience. They do that through persuasive writing. So you get the idea. I could go through quickly some more examples, other emotions, examples of like fear or a sense of security, right? So alarm companies try to convince you that at any moment that burglars could come in, that there could be a home invasion, and they scare you enough so that you want to buy their products. Relaxation. Any commercials for vacations on beaches, like Sandals has a lot of wonderful imagery that makes you feel very relaxed. Actually, they make you feel maybe jealous of the people that are relaxing. Luxury. It's creating a sense of wealth, of opulence, of success that taps into many of us. And so car ads do this. There's for a long time Lexus and maybe other car companies have shown cars being basically given as Christmas presents with a big red bow. And so it's very, it's a very kind of, I think, a decadent lifestyle that appeals to many of us. And so we feel like, oh, that equals success or that equals luxury, and I want to strive to own that vehicle so that I can feel successful. So why am I rambling about these different types of emotions that we see in commercials? Because your project, your journal activity that I'd like you to try today is to write your own commercial. So what's the commercial going to be about? Well, the first thing I want you to do is pick a number between 1 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So imagine that number, stick with that number, do yourself a favor and do your best to stick with this number. What are you going to do with that number? Well, I have drawn different images. I'm going to show you these images now. There you are. And I'm going to put link to the JPEG so you can look at these images anytime. But these images are just strangely drawn, and you see why I teach English instead of art. With these images, whatever number that you've chosen, that is going to be your brand new product. So I want you to imagine that you are an advertising executive and you've been given a very special task. You are going to take this new invention, this new product, and you get to decide what it is, what it does, you want to give it a name, and you want to create aim for a 30 to 60 second radio commercial. I want you to think radio commercial because the visual commercials that I was talking about, they have that visual component. That's all well and good. But to enhance your writing skills, to really develop your writing skills, I want you to think radio commercial, because then you will be in charge of describing the product and using your words to create the emotion, to create the persuasive writing that will convince us to buy this product. We've talked about different emotions that can be conveyed within a commercial. I'd like you to choose at least one emotion, and maybe that emotion is going to be humor, because these are very silly shapes and you might come up with something that's very silly, very imaginative, very whimsical. That's great, use humor, but feel free to mix in some of the other emotions as well, or maybe go for something that's more serious. If these products that I've drawn, if they seem kind of nonsensical to you, another way you can look at them is that maybe they aren't actual objects and gizmos or inventions. Maybe it's a logo for something. Feel free to use your imagination to turn the product upside down, on its side, whatever works for you. So take the image that I have offered you and use this as a challenge, as a writing challenge, to create a 30 to 60 second radio commercial. Feel free, if you want to have a spokesperson, right? If you want to imagine that Morgan Freeman is selling this product or whatever. And also feel free to ask yourself, who is my audience? Who am I trying to sell this product to? And when you think about who your audience is, that helps you decide what kind of emotion do you want to convey. So there you go. Your task is to take one of these drawings and create a 30 to 60 second radio commercial. That's probably a couple paragraphs, I'm guessing, maybe at least just one well-developed paragraph. So see what you can do. Have fun choosing whatever emotion you like. Have fun taking my beautiful artwork and turning it into a paragraph. And have fun playing around with persuasive writing, trying to convince your audience and trying to evoke a specific emotion within your audience. All right, that's enough from me and the slugs. I will talk to you soon. Bye.